On Tap, Hobgoblin. Hi, I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority. Today, we are drinking Hobgoblin from the Wychwood Brewery in Witney, England. The brewery was originally opened in 1983 under the name Eagle Brewery. They changed the name to Wychwood in 1990, naming it after the Wychwood forest that borders the town. Hobgoblin was originally brewed in 1988 for a private wedding, and it wasn't until 1996 that it was bottled for public consumption. This is a ruby-colored beer brewed with Fuggles, Goldings, and Styrian hops, and pale, crystal, and chocolate malts. The brewery says to look for toffee, slight citrus, and chocolate in the aroma, and describes the taste as toffee, dry, and biscuity. It is 5.2% alcohol by volume. Mark, describe your initial visual impressions of this beer.
I mean, the beer really did look very appetizing. Like you had mentioned before, a nice ruby color. I mean, it does have a very deep ruby amber color to it. It's very transparent, which kind of made me think that it was going to be very refreshing. When we first poured the beer, I mean, it came up with an enormous head that had a lot of stay power. It came to the top of the glass and hung out. But as you can see with our glasses, after we've been drinking it for a little while, the head dissipates really into nothing. But I mean, overall, initially a very good-looking beer. Okay.
Joby, how would you describe the flavors in this beer?
Pretty much how they described it in the opening there, James. It's got that chocolate toffee, taste. I really have to search hard to actually get the fruity bitterness out of it. I don't get much of that, but I also do get a lot of the dryness that they described in the opening. It really leaves your mouth dry, almost like an alcohol, leftover would. So, again, it's got that chocolate, it's got the toffee, and I guess a little citrus, but it's well hidden in there.
Okay. Scott, what would be a good occasion for a beer like this?
Well, I mean, if you're looking for something in the brown ale section and looking for something to be a session ale, that'd be a good one to choose. Maybe at a soccer game as well, when you're watching maybe a little soccer, maybe Spain versus England, and trying to root on your good team, your good country. Maybe I'd try this.
Okay, I'm gonna just throw this out here for all of you, but the website says the style is ruby beer. Now, in my book, that's not a style. If you're gonna describe it, what style would you classify this as?
I think it's most certainly a brown ale. I mean, above anything else. And I know we were talking about this, especially Joby and I. The beer is very reminiscent of a Newcastle. I mean, it's a lot more pleasant. It doesn't have that real skunky aroma, not in a bad way, but like Newcastle has that skunky aroma when you first smell it. The beer overall has, I mean, it's very palatable. It has a good taste. It's very smooth, malty, and I mean, it smells like it's going to be a decently refreshing beer. To me, it's just a brown ale through and through.
Okay, Joby, would you call this light or heavy in mouthfeel?
I think it's definitely light. It doesn't stick on your mouth. Again, it gives that dryness after you drink it. So I think a heavy beer, I think coating the mouth, yeah. you're looking for whatever, but I think it's definitely light. It's very drinkable. Again, this would be a good session beer if you're into that stuff. If you're looking for a darker brown ale, I think that's right up your alley for a good session beer.
Okay, Mark, what's your rating?
For me, it goes right along with a 7, definitely.
Okay, Joby?
I am below Mark, James. I'm going with a 5 on this. It's an all right beer, but I just think it's forgettable.
Yeah.
It's nothing's jumping out and saying, hey, I'm going to remember this beer in 2 or 3 weeks. It's got a goblin on the hobgoblin on the box, but that's about it. So I'm at a 5.
Okay. Scott, do you see yourself revisiting this beer?
In the right occasion, yeah. I think it's a beer that I could drink again. I mean, I'm going with a 6 on a rating, but as far as, if I'm seeking out, really truly going out to a bar and looking for any beer I want, there are several others I would choose before this, but we're looking at a brown ale. This is a beer I'd go to. I'd probably go to this before I'd go to Newcastle if I was initially drinking it because of what they were talking about as well. It has a little bit more, I guess, refreshing aroma initially, and it's very smooth, and I think the mouthfeel is a pretty silky mouthfeel. I don't know if it's, light or heavy, but
No, I think you're right. It's got a little bit of creaminess to it.
Yeah, the kind of the effervescence, the bubbles just kind of kick in and push it off your tongue quickly. Though.
I mean, it's got a medium carbonation to it, so
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I think it has a taste kind of similar to Newcastle, but with the added bonus of it's not in a clear bottle, so you don't have to worry about it.
That's a good way to put it. It's a cleaner taste than Newcastle. Like Mark was saying, Newcastle has, I feel like, a copper metallic kind of taste a little bit.
Yeah, it's got like that real briny sediment to it.
Yeah, and this is just, I mean, it's just clean. It's just, you know, no aftertaste. I mean, it's got a lot of same qualities as Newcastle, but I just think it's a cleaner tasting beer.
Okay. Hobgoblin gets a 6.0 on the BBA scale. Have you had any other Wychwood beers? Describe them to us in the comments section. Also, let us know what your favorite English ale is. Thanks for watching. I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority.
Better Beer Authority.